It's cracking YouTube. You already know who it is. Your friend from that big old end. It's Cuz like, yeah, back with another one. Today, I wanted to tell the story of back when I was a bail enforcement agent, aka bounty hunter, aka fugitive recovery, whatever you skip trace or whatever you familiar with. You know, that was a crazy story. You know what I'm saying? So to tell the story correctly, I gotta give a little backstory on the characters involved, on the people who I went out on this um, skip with. My first case. So nonetheless, you know, this is like 20, maybe 15, 2014, 2015 back then, and I was, you know, I'm looking for something to do. I was working, kind of like trying to go to school, but I really wasn't in school and whatever. And I just got out of the military not that long ago. Just had a kid. You understand? A whole lot of things were going on. So I decided, hey, why not try bounty hunting? You know what I'm saying? I thought that, the real shit, not the real stuff, not the fake, dog the bounty hunting type get down. Like I wanted to do the real thing, you know what I'm saying? So nonetheless, I started Googling, like, how to become a bounty hunter in Philly. So I actually seen this ad on Craigslist. That's the only thing that came up. Nothing else about it came up. No classes, no nothing, like no laws, no like. It was real strange. So I'm gonna get to that later. So I seen the Craigslist class, and it said like come to some little office and you get instructed and you get your bounty hunting certification and all that whatnot. I'm like, okay, that sounds like exactly what I'm looking for. It's like $250. So I pull up, a couple other people pull up, and I say, dude had to been like probably like early 30s. You know what I'm saying? Early 30s. Dude come in. And he got the shirt on. He looked the part. I ain't gonna lie, cuz looked the part. You know what I'm saying? So, boom. I start talking to the other people that's in the class, and a couple people didn't have any money. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like out of 10 people, 3 people had the money, and the instructor was just like, "Oh,
okay, well, you can sit in there. We'll figure that out later."
So I'm one of the people who stupid enough to have the money. So trying to figure that out, like that was strange to me. Like, like why would he tell people, oh yeah, you could take this whole class, I'm gonna give you your thing and then you just pay me later? Like that already was a red flag. It should have been, I should have never paid, but so I sit in the class, probably like 10, 11 people or something all together. And so he teaching us how to handcuff, how to use a pepper spray, like not actually using it on us, but just the theory of it and how to use it and how to use a baton. And he just briefly spoke on, I guess, the rules of bounty hunting. And I'm like, okay. So after the class was over, oh yeah, so one of the dudes, it was this guy, I actually forget the dude's name. So he was my partner. So he was in this class, and so that's why I had to tell this story, the backstory. So I'm gonna just call him Jay. All right, I'm gonna just call cuz Jay. You know what I'm saying? So Jay is in this class, and he said basically like the whole time, he's like, oh yeah, I already do this, but I just wanted to, I low-key think they was in cahoots, him and the instructor, but I kind of don't. So, he kind of seemed like he knew what he was doing. It was what he was talking about. Like, he was basically saying that he did this before and all this. And he just trying to get in his license in Philly. But he already been on cases before. So, at the end of this so-called class, the instructor goes out and he said,
everybody sit right here. I'm gonna go print up your certificates and your card.
I wish I still had this card. He took all of our pictures on an Android phone, straight like this, which ain't nothing wrong with that, but took our picture, you know what I'm saying, lined up against the wall or whatever, went in the other room, must have had a laminate machine, laminated a little regular piece of paper, and the card said your name on it, it said bounty hunter, then it said it said expires never. Like, it literally said expires never. It had no numbers on it, no nothing, it was just a regular, like, it was the lowest quality certificate / ID card I ever seen in my life. And once I got handed it, we all seen it in the parking lot. I'm like, yo, I feel like we just got ganked. And dude, he just dipped off. It was like a little office building I think dude rented. All these should have been red flags. But either way, come to find out, bounty hunting is not regulated in Philly at all, pretty much. So if you got a license to carry, Act 235, and bail bondsman wants to work with you, I mean, it's crazy to say, but you pretty much could go out and do it. You know what I'm saying? So fast forward, I get the black dude, get Jay number. You know what I'm saying? So time go by, he hits me up and he says, "Hey, cuz, I got a case." You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, "Bird?" So he's like, "Yeah, you know what I'm saying, if you want in." I'm like, "For sure I want in." You know what I'm saying? It was a real case. You know what I'm saying? So my whole get down was like, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't trying to like lock up no dudes hustling, selling tree, or no drug dealing. Like, I understand that, I come from the trenches, homie, so I would never do that. But this dude had like charges against like domestic violence, like little weird women, and beating up on women type charges. And so that I had no issue locking him up, you know what I'm saying? But either way, so dude, we get the case, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna put pictures up of this dude. I ain't gonna say his name. So we get the case for, I'm gonna switch his name to Roni Baloney, because that's what his name rhymed with. It was something real close to that, like his whole name rhymed. Most people, like, he's a dark-skinned dude, probably like 5'7", 5'8", about 150, you know what I'm saying? Like, most people got a meat wagon on the back of their head, but cuz had like meat wagon on the side of his head. Like, he had like a real jelly bean head or something crazy. I'm like, he is a real, I'm gonna put a picture up because like his head was real distinct. So we get his packet, you know what I'm saying, and there was known addresses, all that stuff. He had skipped out North Carolina, and ran to Philly. So that's how I guess cuz got the case. Boom. So first day, you know what I'm saying, I'm kitted up. You know what I'm saying? I'm tacked up, I got my vest on, you know what I'm saying? I got my pistol out, got my badge, got all that. But at this time I didn't have handcuffs. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have handcuffs because this kind of caught me off guard. I was in the process of getting on my gear, but I mean, I already had everything else I needed. But Fooly Magooly, Jay, that's all he had was handcuffs. So, so he invites his cousin along, his 19-year-old cousin along on this case. Day one, we got 3 addresses on this dude. We had one in Chester, we had one that was down Broad Street, and then we had one in the Northeast that was supposed to be the dude's father's house. Either way, so day one, we go looking for him. I'm like, yo, I'm telling Jay and his cousin, like, where y'all gear at? You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no vest, you ain't got no gun. I had to provide all the guns, but Jay's cousin was underage, so he couldn't carry a pistol. So I had brought my shotgun with me. So I'm like, screw it. Like, this is what you gonna have to run if it gets sticky. But I'm like, y'all ain't got no vest. Like, y'all are tripping. So, but Jay claiming that this, him and his cousin, this is what they do. Like, they've been on multiple cases together and all that. So I'm like, more power to you. I know how to handle myself for sure. So, either way. Day one, we ride down to the address at Broad Street. It was like once a halfway house, and it wasn't a halfway house anymore. Like that business had changed. So that was the dud. So then we had another address out in Chester. I hate going to Chester. Chester is like mini Philly, and it's just sketchy. It's just a real sketchy place. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no business in Chester. I don't never go to Chester, but today I had to go to Chester. So we sliding out Chester, and cuz Jay talking about, oh yeah, I got a little shorty we could pull up on. I'm like, we supposed to be on business, homie. Like, we supposed to be trying to find, oh boy, like, you tripping. either way, we pull up on his little side chick, whatever the heck he had going on. And so she gave us some juice and she gave us like some water and all that. It was real weird. It was really a waste of time. So we just out riding around Chester looking like cops, but not really, not really doing much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we ain't making no noise. Like we just standing out there. Like, so I'm like, man, we need to get on this, get back to the case. So we pull up to the local PD of the precinct of the place, the address. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to notify the police that you're going to be in the area conducting a warrant, and so that when the phone call get out that there's some dudes that don't look like cops arresting people with guns and all that. Like the cops already know, like, oh yeah, that's them serving a warrant in this area. So we go to the precinct to tell the cops that. And as soon as we walk in, so the cops looked at us three and was like,
y'all serving a warrant in here? At this address?
So we like, yeah. He like,
that's all y'all got? Just y'all three?
Yeah. He was like, he bust out laughing. He was like, okay. He's like, you look like you're gonna be all right, pointed at me. He's like, but y'all two? He's like, whatever. He said, we'll back you up. He's like, we're not gonna go in there for you, but we'll come out and, to see if if anything crazy happened. So I'm like, okay, if y'all want to. So we slide out to the address, and I think that the cops actually just came with us because they wanted to see if we was gonna get beat up or something crazy was gonna happen to us. Like, they told us that they wasn't gonna really help us or nothing, so I'm like, whatever. So we knock on this door. It's like a little apartment. It's not a complex, but it's like a multi-level apartment, So we knock on the door, and we announce ourselves as, bail enforcement agents. We tell them who we're looking for, and we need to come in the premises. Boom. So we get in there. I draw my weapon, and I start clearing the house. These two fools just walk in this house, just all willy-nilly, as if they're like that authority was supposed to mean something, as if like they didn't, there was no tactics to it, no nothing. They just walking around the house with a flashlight in people's rooms. Just dudes was in there smoking tree, playing 2K. Dude opened somebody's door and busted in there. He had a girl in there. I'm like, oh my God, these dudes getting mad on all that. But they seen me with the gun, so I guess they piped down like, oh yeah, like they just searching real quick. So the lady that I'm sorry, not the lady, the man that opened the door told us that the only person that lives upstairs is a lady who has some autistic kids. So, sometimes people do be lying to protect people, you know what I'm saying? Cool. I'm gonna say his name. Brony Baloney could have been, cuz homeboy. So we don't even know, he could have been lying. So we kind of low-key going back and forth, like damn near about to search it, but I'm like, no, you know what I'm saying? If it's like, special needs kids up there or something and they just got put to sleep, like we ain't gonna do that. Like if they lying, we'll just catch Roni on the flip. So we leave, and that pretty much concluded the first day, and I was ticked. Like, I'm like, man, these dudes don't know what the F they doing. They ain't, man, I'm like, they gonna get themselves hurt or get me hurt. And then the other time we went out hunting, confirmed my suspicion. A couple days go by, and, we're checking Facebooks, checking Instagrams, just, doing our little background detective work, trying to figure out what activity, we got going on. So we had one good number on Roni, and but I think it was his girlfriend's phone. So Jay called Roni and was like,
hey, can I speak to Roni?
So she don't even know she gave it, kind of almost got him, like we confirmed that that was his number. So she says,
hold on, I'll be right back.
So she puts Roni on the phone, and he said, oh, I'm sorry. She comes back and say, Roni, there ain't no Roni here. We like, so why would you say, hold on, I'll be right back if there ain't no Roni there? So then she keep talking like, well, we just need to speak Ronnie, you know what I'm saying? His bondsman need him to sign some papers, blah, blah, blah. You know, he going through that little spill trying to throw her off. So a man comes, snatches the phone. Of course it's Ronnie. He is drunk off his rocker, and he come blabbing.
Hey, get the F off my phone. Ain't no F with Ronnie here. This, that, and the third. And who the F y'all looking for anyway? What's going on? And blah, blah.
You know what I'm saying? Woofing, doing the most. So I'm like, yeah, whatever, homie. So he hung up. We like, yeah, that was definitely Ronnie. Like, definitely. He cussed us out. So then he wouldn't answer our phone calls. So we like, oh yeah, we gotta make a move quick. Like, we gotta check that other address. Mind you, I'm sorry, we did that first day. We did check the address in the northeast, his dad's address, but you know nobody was there because we had heard that either his dad passed or something like that, which was true. So fast forward, we go back out. We go just on a humbug. We go and we pull up to his dad's house. But we, like I said, like the father we had got information was deceased, like recently though. So we pull up in front of the house and we park and we just sitting there. I'm not even tacked up. I just got my vest. I don't even think I had my vest. I just had my badge and my gun pretty much. And cuz had the handcuffs. And we got Jay. It's Jay and Jay little cousin. We all in my car. The fools didn't even have no car. They ain't had nothing but the clothes on their effing back, yo. And it was so crazy. Side note, when we first came to my house to get geared up, my dad looked at me like,
"That's your crew? That's your bounty hunting crew?"
And I'm like, yeah. He was like,
"Man, Jay look a little soft, like."
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, no, he like, I mean, even if he was, I ain't care, man. He had females, but yeah, I could see how, you know what I'm saying, you would say that about Jay. Jay definitely had like a feminine type of get down, but either way, nonetheless, his cousin was normal. So this day, we back at Ronnie's dad's house, and boom. So we pull up in front of the gym, and Jay cousin talking about, yeah.
In high school, I ran track, woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? I'm fast, I ran this and that. I be burning people, yo. If he run, I'm on him.
So I'm like, yo, listen, I said, I'm gonna hold you to that. I said, cause I'm not fast. You know, I got stamina, but I ain't got no speed though. So I'm like, cuz take off. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need you to hawk him and just get hands on it. I said, I promise you, I'm gonna be right behind you. Like, if he start tripping too much, I'm gonna pop him. You know what I'm saying? So he like, all right, bet. He like, but he talking big boy cash. Like, I don't even care. Man, I'm gonna whoop him myself. I'm gonna hit him with this baton. I'm gonna do. Boop, boop. I'm like, all right. So, like I said, as we sitting in front of Ronnie crib, I'm looking in the rear view. I see a car pull up. And then I see people moving stuff in and out the house, all that, you know, the doors open, the dad's doors open, it's, you know, people moving stuff out of the house, I'd say. And I look in the rear view and I see this head, this jelly bean loaf of bread, like head in the rear view. And I'm like, cuz that's Ronnie. So I'm tapping the homies like, hey, yo, look behind us. Ronnie pulled up right behind us, literally. Our car, he pulled directly behind our car. You know how to like win the bounty hunting lottery. He pulled up right behind us, no bull. So I tapped the homies like, hey, cuz we gonna have to, now or never, we gonna have to get on him. So we bounce out the whip. You know what I'm saying? I start walking up, take my badge out. Ronnie looking square in my face. He started walking down the street a little bit. He looking at me. He already know what's up. And next thing I know, he breaks. So I look at Jay cousin like, hey, cuz, get him. So Jay cousin takes off, no bull. He couldn't have been running for no more than 15 seconds. Like, he maybe made it 30 yards, 20 yards. And he's literally hunched, 19-year-old. Mind you, I've been smoking cigarettes since I was 16. This kid just fresh out of high school. He ain't worked nothing. He ain't did nothing. Like, why are you that out of shape? I think he was scared, honestly, because it got real. So he acting like he hunched over, breathing hard. So I'm like, oh no. And I just see Ronnie hauling it down the street. So I'm like, damn, man. I'm like, he's not super fast, but at this point, he definitely got me, you know, he got me beat, so I take off. You know what I'm saying? Jay was fat as hell, so, you know what I'm saying, I already, like, that's why I didn't mention Jay in this pursuit conversation. Like, we already know Jay wasn't running from nothing. So I told Cuz, hey, get the wheel. You know what I'm saying? So I take off behind Ronnie. Ronnie took me on about a 3-block chase. And these are northeast blocks, was like double regular blocks. Like, these is at least 150, 175, you know, yard blocks, you know what I'm saying? So he took me on about 3 of them, but I'm not sprinting. I'm jogging my pace because I'm trying to keep my stamina up. Because I told myself, I'm like, listen, if I start trying to sprint behind him and all that, I said, I'm gonna just run out of gas and he gonna go. So I said, as long as I can keep him in my eyesight, I said, I should be good, you know what I'm saying? So I'm jogging and he's sprinting, he's hauling. You know what I'm saying? He is hauling tail down the street. So I'm just jogging behind him. I got my pistol out and I'm just flying down the street casually. It's like, you know. So we get about 3 blocks down. He trying to weave and hit corners and all that. So he finally gets to this part where I think he started to slow down. He started to get tired. And he tried to like Daffy Duck me around the car and run around. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Daffy Duck joint is when, you know what I'm saying, you standing right here and somebody tried to do like that and then like go around, like, yeah, he tried to do that and juke me around the car. Negative. I'm not stupid. So as soon as he went around the car, I act like I was gonna run behind him and then I just jump right back, put the, you know, the blick to him. And I'm like, hey, freeze, woo, woo, woo. So he like, damn, what I do? I don't even know you, cuz. What? So I just snatch him up. I'm like, yeah, come over here. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm wrangling. He low-key fighting back, but not nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wrangling him. And this lady come up like,
stop, what you doing? What you doing?
Little Spanish lady, she gets up and stands literally like right next to me. And like, she just staring. And I'm like, ma'am, do you know him? Is this your boyfriend? She said, no. I said, well, get the fuck out of my case then. So, you know what I'm saying? So I said, get out my scene then. You know what I'm saying? So she dip up. So Ronnie's still fighting. So I grabbed the, you know what I'm saying? I got him in the headlock and I got the gun to his head. I'm not a cop. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you can say excessive force, you can say whatever, but I can see why people get their ass whooped when they run from cops. Cause I was heated. I was for sure heated. And the fight alright. The GoPro overheated. I hate these newer ones, man. They overheat so quick. So I got Cuz, you know, wrangled around the neck and I'm looking for the homies like, hey, where is they at? Cause now we done three blocks down. We done made a couple bends, a couple turns. So I don't even know if they know where we at. They in my car, mind you. So I'm literally go and sit on the step and wrap my legs around Ronnie. You know what I'm saying? I got him like this. So I see the homies pull up finally. So I'm like, hell yeah. So they hop out, Ronnie start fighting again. Like, hey, what y'all got going on? This, that, and third. I done told him, like, hey, listen, bro, you going. Like, it ain't no signing no papers, bro. You going to jail, homie. I'm sorry. So the homies come up and Jay and his cousin, they acting like they don't want to cuff him. They acting all scared and like pussyfooting around with it. I'm like, hey, cuff him. And they say, act like, I'm trying. So I take Ronnie, I put his head on that step, and I literally sat on his head, boom! I said, cuff him. So now he's literally like this, under my, you know what I'm saying, under my behind and on the step. The homies cuff him finally, boom. We get him in the car. He all scraped up and scuffed up, you know what I'm saying? Blood coming out of his forehead, lip bleeding a little bit, scrapes. So now we start driving. So I'm like, hey, where we gotta return him to anyway? I didn't even ask. Oh, we gotta take him to, the bondsman said he gonna meet us in Alexandria, Virginia. Cause he ain't going nowhere in Philly. When y'all, all right, F it. So boom. At this point, you know what I'm saying, I ain't with the cross the state lines with guns type thing. So I'm like, all right, we gonna have to, you know, leave the blicks at home and, you know, cross these lines. So that's what we did. So we tell Ronnie, like, listen, you start tripping, you gonna get the shit beat out of you in this joint. Like, I just got my car too. I'm like, I'm not playing none of that. He like, all right. So we driving. He ended up being cool after a while. He calmed down. That's why, I'm telling this story like that, because he actually ended up being cool. He calmed down. He's like, damn, I done got booked by a bunch of little ends. You know what I'm saying? Little ninjas. So I'm like, yeah, man. He's like, man, I'm old enough to be y'all. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm like, I'm a little bit older, but I'm like, whatever. So we let him, call this girl. I let him smoke a cigarette. And by the time we got to Maryland, we ended up taking the cuffs off, and you know what I'm saying? He just chilled. So, once we finally got to Alexandria, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Now let's talk about the payout. I'm sorry, I didn't mention the payout. So I think Ronnie had a $50,000 bond, which equated to a $5,000 payout for us. Jay promised me $2,000 out of this deal. So we get to the bondsman and we turn Ronnie over to the bondsman. The bondsman said, who do you want the check to go out to? Because it was Jay case, I felt like it would have been out of line. And they did the business. I felt like it would have been out of line to be like, hey, right then and there, like, hey, let me get my own check. In hindsight, I should have spoke up. But either way. Hey, rewind, I'm sorry. Did I say that I had to supply Jay with a badge as well? You know what I'm saying? So all he had was clothes and handcuffs. So everything else I supplied Jay and his cousin with. So keep that in mind. Boom. So the dude, the bondsman, give us the check. He said, I got a check for $1,500 or, no, I'm sorry, it was $1,300. And he had, my math is wrong. Either way, he had like $700 in cash or something like that. And the rest was a check. I missed me with the math, whatever. Boom. So we jump in the car and immediately I demand the cash. I'm like, yeah, you can give me that cash right here and give me the rest later. You know what I'm saying? So Jay acting strange, like cause like I said, we had to leave the guns at his people's crib or at his house. So he started talking about how, yeah, I'm thinking about taking my wife to the range tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, okay, with what guns? Oh, yeah, I was just going, you taking them with yours. I'm like, it blew me, I'm like, what? Yeah, negative. I need mine right now. We going to your crib. Oh, yeah, but my dad's asleep and I got to see. You better wake him up. I need my blicks right now. So, bam, I got my blicks back. We conclude the night. So I got my $700. But now I'm asking cuz what's happening with my $1,300. You feel me? Like, I need my 13 on the hood. So next day, he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cash the check on Friday. Cool. Friday come, he like, oh, it take 2 days to clear. All right, cool. 2 days come, oh yeah, it's taking a little longer. Come, oh yeah, I actually bought us all gear and matching t-shirts and vests and badges and stuff. Mind you, he tells me, I'm like, why did you buy badges when I got I got 2 badges? He's like, oh, well, I gotta get my cousin one because I got yours engraved with my name on it. Who told you to do that, bro? Who told you to do that, man? And I'm like, so I'm telling all my homies, like, I'm like, man, I'm ready to smash on this dude because he is real life playing with me. You know what I'm saying? So now me and Jay getting into it. Like, I'm like, yo, bro, run me my paper. Or it's, you know what I'm saying? It was going up, like, regardless. So he's like, oh no, I ain't trying to scam you, ain't like that, like all this. So I'm like, all right, well, run me my gear then. You saying you got vests and all that and badges for me and this, that, and the third? Like, what's happening? So I took my my instructor, one of my good homies, you know what I'm saying, the type of homie you should take. Like, he wouldn't tell me to do nothing crazy. He actually was there to stop me from doing something crazy. You know what I'm saying? He's my karate instructor and homeboy. So I take him up there and I tell him the situation, and Jay explained the whole get down in front of both of us, and so we leave and I'm like, you know what I'm saying, like, you see he playing. He like, yeah, he playing, and I know he playing. It's everything he said was a lie, it's fraudulent. He said, you know what I'm saying, y'all done been seen too much together. He's like, you do something to him, you're gonna get locked up. He's like, that type of dude is gonna tell on you, so is it worth taking it all away? And I said, no, it's not worth taking it all away. You know what I'm saying? But I was thinking, I'm like, I should just smack him or something. He was like, no, don't even do that, because he's going to call the cops on you. So he was like, you could, file a civil lawsuit, but the amount of money you're going to pay for that, and y'all didn't have anything in writing. So he was like, you just got to chalk it as an L. So that's what I ended up doing. So me and him, we just parted ways. I wish I still had this picture, because this picture of that day when we caught Ronnie was so cool, because this was crazy. I didn't even know this idiot box was taking pictures, because he's supposed to be on case watching my back. But as we locked Ronnie up, I got him hooked around my arm like this, and everybody's like, I ain't had to do that to him, and boo boo boo, what the F is y'all doing, and whatever. And I'm like telling the lady, like, I ain't no cop, like, you see. And there's a picture of me with Ronnie right here, and I'm like, got this crazy face. Like, it was a cool picture. But yeah, I wish I had that picture to put in here, but that was that. But yeah, man, that's my first get down with the bounty hunting thing. Like, what a like, how these dudes talking about they the experienced ones, and I come out, of course, technically they had nothing, but I guess I don't know what they had going on. But that's my first joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, comment, subscribe, and get at me for the next one. Peace.